As you can see here on the screen, Giants second-year wide receiver Malik Nabers was ranked as the 67th best player in the NFL Top 100. And I feel like after this year, that ranking is going to change significantly for the better. And in terms of like the elite wide receivers in the league, I feel like Malik Nabers can definitely sneak into that top five and maybe even that top three for the reasons being that I'm about to show you right now. The first thing is that Malik Nabers is a difference maker, and what makes him a difference maker is his yards after catch ability. He can take a simple slant like this and turn it into a huge gain, going from the 35 to inside the red zone. So here he is to the top of the screen right here. And like I said, he's just going to take a simple slant route, and what he can do with that yards after catch wise is just so impressive. So he takes a simple slant, catches it at the 30, makes one tackle, two tacklers miss, another, and he eventually gets to the 12-yard line. On the last play, he takes a basic slant, and he nearly takes it to the house. He gets inside to the red zone. But on this play right here, he takes a basic hitch route. There's not too much nuance in terms of the route. It's just a simple hitch, and he's able to take it for a score. Like the yard after catch ability, how he's able to make defenders miss. Takes that, makes two defenders miss right there. Eventually, just zooms past another, and it takes just one block down the field for him to take it for six. Now, right here, you get the best of both worlds. You get a beautiful route and just the yards after the catch, which we already know he's fantastic at. So he's right there. You have the defensive back with outside leverage, and Malik has to run a slant route. So he's going to use a diamond release, which is to get the defensive back to open their hips to the sideline, and then you just really want to stop really quickly, get back to the inside, and get out of that break fast. So here we go. And I'm going to stop it too at a point where I love how he attacks and how he approaches at the catch point to position himself for yards after the catch. So here we go. There's the diamond release right there. And then right there immediately, instead of completely going like he does have a lane to go straight, but he understands that when you beat them that good and they're in a trail position, they're going to over pursue. And so if they do over pursue, you can just plant that outside foot right there, his left one in this scenario to the ground, and then rework yourself back upfield, which is what he does. So his expected yards after catch is always, I don't know the exact number, but I assume it's got to be in the very high percentile. Here, I think we get a clearer example of what I'm talking about in terms of at the catch point, setting yourself up for more expected yards after catch. So he's going on a slant route. There he is to the top of the screen. Going on a slant route. He's got a lot of cushion on it too. Gets a slant route. And then at the catch point, he does have a path to go straight, but watch his right foot. And so there's the catch point right there, and watch his right foot and his body movement. He's going to fake. He's going to fake to that inside, going to get the defensive back to over pursue because we don't have eyes behind our head, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make them think we're going this way and then recircle or reroute ourselves back. That's going to get them to over pursue, and now we can get to the outside and use our speed. He reminds me a lot of like Jamar Chase because both of them you can use behind the line of scrimmage. I'm designed they're pass plays, but they're kind of an extension of the run, which is their really high completion percentage. So you can use him and Jamar Chase in both of those areas because of their frame and their build. Like they have the build and the frame of a tailback. So they use him just on a bubble screen right here, get him down the field. And then, like what I'm talking about of being a playmaker and a difference maker is the expected yards after catch. Right here, you would expect him to be down, only gain about maybe a yard, maybe even two. Instead, he has good balance and contact balance to be able to get the first down. If you're his offensive play caller, it is so fun to have a player like Malik Nabers because you don't have to consistently rely on targets down the field for him. You can manufacture some stuff behind the line of scrimmage, as we've known he's more than capable of doing. And in the very same Colts game, he's going to take a short screen, knows how to be patient, read his blocks, and then just broken tackles. Like it's just too easy for him. Lastly, but certainly not least, is he's a hell of a route runner. He understands how to run a lot of routes versus certain leverages, and just to make all of his routes and releases paired off to look the same. And he's just the master of disguise. A lot of receivers, to be a great route runner, you got to be a master of disguise, and that's exactly what he is. This, I think, is my favorite route of his because it's just a double move, and then just how badly he's able to beat the corner. Like he's able to pair it up. And then another thing I like that really doesn't get mentioned a whole lot with wide receivers when we evaluate them is their running style. Like his running style, just it's like hard to tell because the defensive back is always going to look at your body language, your posture, shoulders, and hips to see kind of which way you're cheating towards. It's really hard to tell with Malik Nabers because he has just such like a sprinter stride. He's just so relaxed in his running style. Very relaxed, pairs things up. Then again, like I said, he's just able to beat the corner so badly. Like a better ball, and he most likely scores for six. One thing I also want to mention too that I think is probably, I would say, his best trait and characteristic is he's an acrobat. His body control is just so unbelievable. I mean, that skill, like it has a Hall of Fame badge. It is so perfect. And so here we go. Again, he's got really good speed. And I like how he's just able to he's able to get really quick out of his breaks, but he's able to get from point A to B really quickly. But the most impressive part about this is this catch. I mean, he gets clearly open, but he's able to high point that. I mean, just kind of ballerina-esque. And then just turn himself to a complete 180, stop on that, get your foot down on that inside foot. But not only that, get the second foot down after doing a 360, having to adjust to that ball. I mean, golly, this play here just highlights his body control and then his contact balance. Like, rarely am I able to see that the first defender he makes contact with is able to bring him down. And then again, paired with the fact that he's just an acrobat. So, ball's underthrown. He has to turn back to it. This safety right here is going to hit him right at the legs, right at the knees. He's able to dodge off of it, really doesn't phase him. And then the body control. From about the 6 yard line, he's having to use all of his body control to stay inbounds and then, I mean, just make acrobatic plays routinely. And of course, we had to save the best for last. I mean, this is just an insane catch. Like, I remember watching this live and going, like, I could not believe how he was able to bring this catch in. Being so close to that sideline, the sideline awareness, then the body control, the footwork, the toe drag swag, all just amazing. So there's Nabers right there to the top of the screen. Dallas is going to show a cover two look. He's able to beat the corner. The corner gets him a little close to the sideline here. They're going to stay a little in phase. The quarterback does a good job of putting the ball right where it needs to be. It's right at Nabers' face mask. But the body control. Oh my God, it's just so insane. And I think the more impressive thing about it too is that ball gets deflected. So it gets deflected and it gets right up on his face mask. So he's having to judge the ball, make sure he's able to secure that, make sure he gets his toes and his feet in bounds. Then look at it and he's still, most receivers, they catch the ball and then they start looking to the sideline. He's completely got his eyes glued to the ball. Now he secures it, understands where he's got to get, and he's got plenty of room. Plus that second foot there, I mean, oh my God. At this point, you're probably wondering why I believe Malik Nabers is going to have a stellar sophomore year. And well, let's look at the production in his rookie year. He had 109 catches for a little over 1,200 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. And that was with Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, Drew Luck, and whoever else they found out of the street to play quarterback for them. And so now you look at his second year with, he still's got Brian Daboll, who's a very good and a very smart offensive play caller, with Russell Wilson, who he's a good quarterback, but his known commodity is the deep ball. Everything and all the situation around Nabers has improved. So I'm expecting a really huge year for him because we know obviously the talent is there.